We're going to start this demo with the enhancements most relevant to all users, and then move on to cover the admin level only changes later. First, you may have already noticed the new look and feel of Agiloft. We've overhauled the existing GUI, both in the staff and mobile interfaces, for both general and record screens. Additionally, we'll be launching a native mobile app later this year. Now to begin, as part of a series of graphical enhancements, we've added a graphical dependency or relationship diagram data type. Here I have it set up for assets showing upstream and downstream connections from the company website. This could also be used to show org charts, contract hierarchy under a company, installations at a site, or a build of materials. The particular relationship labels can be customized for each pair, of course. And so now let's set up an example. I'm going to close these windows. We'll come into set up the employees, and we'll set up a nice quick org chart. So on the Fields tab, we have a new data type for relationship diagram field. Let's just call this org chart. We will display the button simply as org. Now for our options here, we're going to set up the parent and child dependency. This is how we tell the system how to identify a parent or how to identify a child. For the parent, upstream from an employee, we're going to pick the manager. This is a linked field that we're using that we've already created. And for the child records, underneath an employee, we're going to pick a related table, direct reportees. And this is actually a related table on the other side of the manager link. All right. We're going to skip the other default options there. Let's just leave admin permissions for the moment. And now we come to the display tab. On the display tab here, now we're going to set the label that's going to be used for the boxes at each level of the diagram. And since these are all employees, we're just going to use the full name for each field. And we save our field. Now let's come look at the employee records and simply add it to our view. So we've quickly added the org chart to our view there. Now let's pick a good employee to look at. I know Agiloft system has some fair number of employees, so let's pick that one. And here we can see Agiloft system. Directly above them is our admin with 4 direct reportees underneath Agiloft system. So that's our new relationship diagram data type and a quick setup of that. Our next feature is direct file edit, a feature we're using internally to edit documents quickly. So here in the contracts table, I've set up direct file edit for this field. I can click on it, and you see the pop-up with edit and check out. Checking it out opens it in Word immediately, where I can make changes and then save it back directly to the KB. Yeah. So here's my diagram now open in Word. We can see some text here. I'm just going to take that text out, hit Control S to save it back to the system. And as soon as I close Word, it checks it back in the KB. Now if I open it up again by checking it out, here we see my changed document with those new lines already taken out. So that's our direct file edit. When a user opens the file directly, it is automatically checking it out for them and locking it from any other users editing it. Also on this table, available to contract professionals and all users, is the new Merge PDF functionality. Exactly as the name sounds, this lets you merge multiple PDFs or other documents associated with a contract into a single PDF file. So I'm just going to select this record and run my merge action. And you can see here there were 2 files that are going to be merged. This can be used for consolidating multiple appendices or other related documents to create a single file for printing or signing. So our action is completed, and now there's our merged file now as a PDF available. Now related to that, let me switch to this contract I already have open, and we can see one of our new integrations, Adobe Sign. Adobe Sign provides legally enforceable e-signature capabilities with affordable per-envelope pricing. From the Agiloft side, the user experience is just like our DocuSign integration, where the system can prepare the envelopes with recipients, track the progress, and the fully signed PDF is returned when completed. For the admin user, in the configuration screens, we also have an easy method to buy envelopes. That brings up our pricing screen here. The Adobe envelopes are purchased through us. You just put in how many envelopes you want and the billing information, and then we communicate with Adobe and generate the envelopes for you. You can also put in a threshold at which you want to be notified if your envelopes are running low, to make sure that there's your contract signing process does not get held up at all. We have another enhancement relating to putting together documents. So let me pull up our sample doc here. We now have some extra capabilities in our print templates. Our print templates can now use conditional statements, allowing for more dynamic document creation. Here we have a couple simple examples showing modification of individual parts of a clause or a larger multi-line condition for clause inclusion. Next, we've added SMS messages. So now, in addition to our normal email alerts, you can send SMS alerts as well. So in this example, I'm going to send an emergency page for this incident that just came in. And instead of our standard email notification, we're going to send an SMS message directly to the assignee's cell phone. The SMS messages otherwise work exactly like our email templates and can be triggered in all of the same ways. We've also improved the workflow editor to no longer require Java, so you won't be affected by the Java browser plugin becoming deprecated. This means that the workflow can also be edited in browsers that have already blocked Java, such as Chrome. And as you can see, we've added coloring on the transitions associated with the selected workflow state for easier identification. Next, to better serve the users for your KB, you can now customize the help menu to set links specific to your project or company. Along with this, we've implemented a new online help system based on the popular Wiki platform. This help system can be accessed by going to wiki.agiloft.com or here directly from the help menu. So here is our new Wiki-based help. You can see the URL, and this is available to anyone with an internet connection now. Also, at the end of Q1, we will be rolling out Jollof Community, which will be accessible using your Agiloft support login. This provides a space for peers to exchange ideas and best practices when using Agiloft. This supports a communal chat as well as peer-to-peer chatting. Next, for some admin quality of life enhancements, we've made changes to the group permission screen to allow copying permissions between groups for making updates across multiple groups easier. So here I can select multiple groups, and then I can copy to or copy permissions for those tables to or from other groups. This is particularly useful for testing. If you have a limited test user group with access, you can now easily extend those permissions to the rest of your users. You can also print out all or part of a group's permission for easy record keeping. Next, to make it easier to control license usage, you can now limit the auto-assignment of named licenses. This allows you to ensure that the proper users are using your named licenses. You can turn off auto-assignment altogether and manually assign all of the named licenses, or you can set a safe search to determine which users should be automatically grabbing the named licenses. On the View Manage screen, you can now also look up multiple users at once to assign licenses in bulk, and you can see all of the current users that are assigned a license, whether or not they've actually logged in yet. At the table level for fields, we've added a mass edit feature to set field properties for multiple fields at once. So now I can select multiple fields, and under the set field properties, I can go ahead and set the visibility dependence, quick edit, requirement, or edit dependencies for all of those fields at once. And finally here, in the table setup, on the Indices tab, you can edit the quick search fields. These are the fields that are in the quick search dropdown for the table. So first, let's look at the service request table as a whole. And we'll turn on our quick search bar. And you can see here our quick search bar, we've got a lot of fields here. In fact, it's every field in the table right now. So let's come back into the table setup. We'll come to the Indices tab, edit the quick search fields. And here, while normally you would go through and be more selective in the fields you're removing, I'm just going to clear all of them and click Finish. Now let's look back at our quick search dropdown. You can see our drop-down shrunk there. In fact, there's nothing in it. That's because we took out all of the fields from that quick search drop-down, and all we're left with is the full text search. So this lets the admin user, based on what their users are actually searching for, it lets you narrow down what's going to be in that quick search drop-down to make it a lot cleaner and easier for your users. Now, while you've been able to see a lot of the new look and feel options, under the hood we've also optimized the table view, which results in having the memory used and a dramatic increase in performance for forms with a lot of embedded tables. One final note, for those of you interested in our ITIL certified processes, please check out our ITIL page at our website. Under Solutions, just select ITIL and ITSM, and here we have our pink verified ITIL processes. Now, if I might end this presentation on a personal note, it has been very enjoyable to work with both IT departments and business users on increasingly complex projects over the last 9 years, and to see how their needs have been integrated into our development roadmap and rolled out to all of our customers. We've increased the power and flexibility of the system while making it easier to use and administer. I would now like to open the general Q&A session.